Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the closing session or the session number 24 of the program Digital ABC for NGOs. It really has been quite a journey already. We've spent 3 months, a bit more, I think, no, a bit less than 3 months, but still we will have the practical session, so we are gonna reach the 3-month mark. We began in the September 18th, although we did have the introductory session previously, but that was the official beginning. And since then, we've gone through 23 different sessions, and we've learned about various different things. And of course, later on in the session, we are going to look back at what we have gone through. But overall, I'd love to already give a round of applause to all of you for being here, for participating, for, well, making it to the end. Because, I mean, we created this program for you, the one who's a representative of an NGO, who is working on helping the society in general, no matter where you are located in this world, which country you are from, what time zone you are in right now. We created this program for you, and I do sincerely hope that you enjoyed it and that it was worthwhile for you. But these are not yet the absolute closing words. This is just the opening, so let's get back to a bit more, happy tone and happy note. Once again, my name is Silins, and it is my utmost pleasure being here in front of you for the final session, the closing session. And the time has passed rather quickly. As I mentioned, it's been already 23 separate sessions, and today we are really at the closing session. But like I also mentioned, nothing's done yet. There will be the practical sessions down the road, but that's a topic for a bit later on. But what do we have in store for today? So the first thing that we are going to do, we are going to look a bit into the future. I know that last session when we had the overview of modern technologies, Dmitry already did a bit of a look into what technologies might bring and so on, but today we are going to do it slightly differently. And then from there on, we are going to move on to an experience story, also on the topic of bridging the gap, the impact of digital technologies on civil society empowerment. And we are happy to welcome one of the program participants to share this story. And then we will look at a very important topic. I mean, we have been learning about different digital skills, digital tools, how the digital world can help us and maybe save us in some instances. But there is also another risk of the digital world. I mean, there's a reason why this program was 3 months long, why we had to have 24 separate sessions. And even then, in each of the sessions, sometimes we had to cover several topics. I mean, there's a whole lot of things in the digital world. And at some point, it can be quite a burden if you look at all of these things and try to, wrap your head around everything. And that's why it's also important to look after yourself, to think about your well-being. And in this case, we are going to be talking about digital well-being. And regarding, like I said, the review of the program, then afterwards, the final thing we are going to do, we are going to take a look back in time, look back at what we've gone throughout these months, what we've experienced, what is yet to come also, and maybe some data about you, about the participants, where are you from, and so on and so forth. And regarding the practicalities of the session, feel free to ask questions after each of the parts. So basically, you can ask the questions already during each of the speeches, whether on YouTube, where you are watching, in the comments section, or on our website as well, as per usual, basically. But yeah, definitely feel free to, also feel free, of course, to ask the questions, but I would urge you to ask the questions when it comes to mind, because we will only devote 5 to 10 minutes for the Q&A part after each of the talks. So really, you should write the questions as soon as you can. And yeah, that's regarding the session. Like I said, there are going to be a couple more things to talk about regarding the program, regarding what's to come. But for now, I would love to begin this closing session by inviting our speaker to the stage. And the first speaker, she will take a look at the future, and hopefully afterwards, we will all know a bit more of what to expect. So without further ado, I would love to welcome to the stage Futurist at futurist.land, Alena Uhlianica. Alena, welcome to our stage.
Thank you, Paulus. And hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to congratulate you, all of you, on completing the Digital ABCs program. In my opinion, knowing how to apply digital skills and emerging technologies for promoting positive social change is a huge future-proofing asset. And I know that on Monday you have had a session on emerging technologies, some of the most important of them. But have you had a thought like, are they really that important? Why do we have to know about them? And if so, then why? And how can you use them in your work or in your personal life? So today we are going to talk about exactly these questions. Can you see my slides? Yes. And we will do that through the prism of futurist thinking. For me, one of the most important things ever is to explore how the future might be like and to come up with the visions of the alternative visions of the future. So part of my job is to answer the question like, what does the future hold for us? So the future holds for us, however strange and controversial it may sound, the future holds for us nothing. That is because the future in itself is unknown. One of the main principles that we have in future studies teaches us that future has not happened yet. So the future is undefined. Nobody can predict the future. We can only explore and study alternative versions of the future. And that obviously means that there are many possible versions of the future, and these two principles together mean that we can influence what the future will be like. We can participate in creating the future. Nobody possesses a crystal ball to predict the future, not me, not anyone else, unless they are scammers or something. But when we are armed with the understanding of the current technologies, current problems, and analyzing the trends, we can actively participate in creating the futures we desire or preventing the futures we don't want to happen. So how do we do that? Because the real question is not what the future holds for us, but what we ourselves hold for the future. And how can we do that? Actually, first of all, we come up with the visions of the future and act to achieve them. But creating the future involves much more than just our imagination and wishful thinking. So it involves three ingredients. It's a process that starts with understanding the problems, then studying the current trends shaping the future and evaluating the potential impact of emerging technologies, and engaging in scenario planning to explore different future possibilities. So this is how we create the vision of the future. Again, those first three ingredients, then this mix shall go through the prism of your values and your creative imagination and intuition. And then we come out with a picture or a description of possible alternative of the future, or a scenario or a vision. So you can use any of these terms and you will be right. For today, I've prepared a list of problems, trends, and technologies that might be relevant for your work in NGOs and issues that you are dealing with through your organizations. So let's take a quick look at all of these ingredients one by one. First, problems. What problems are there out now in the world that need to be resolved? As you know, problems can be wicked or tame, and let's take a quick look at all of them. So the wicked problems are global poverty and inequality, climate change and environmental degradation, human rights violation, conflict, and peace-building global health challenges. Of course, there are much more, but I picked only these for today, as this presentation is for you. We're talking only about some of them for the purpose of doing the exercise, teaching you how to create the visions of the future. So, and the tame problems that I've picked for today are educational disparities, community infrastructure, gender inequality, public health access, and digital divide. The next ingredient are trends, or mega and meta trends, for that matter. trends that shape the future landscape of the global society, and many of these trends are closely related to the problems that we have just mentioned. So let's take a closer look at some of key mega and meta trends and their connection to the challenges often faced by NGOs. So one of the first trends and one of the most important is technological advancements. This means the rapid development of technology, fundamentally reshaping the way how we live and work. These are any technologies ranging from artificial intelligence to augmented reality to blockchain. And these advancements are paving the way for a digitally driven future. The next and probably very well known is the trend of climate change and environmental sustainability. Currently, we observe that global consciousness is shifting towards environmental sustainability, and from renewable energy adoption to conservation efforts, organizations worldwide are aligning their strategies to address the climate change. As the climate-related challenges are expected to intensify, this makes your work in environmental NGOs even more crucial. And the next important trend is global health and pandemics. We have already all got acquainted with this. Recent global health crises have underscored the importance of robust healthcare systems. This puts emphasis on telemedicine, precision medicine, pandemic preparedness, as these all are steering the future of global health. Next is the world is witnessing a surge in social justice and equity movements. We can see that organizations are increasingly aligning their missions with the principles of inclusivity, diversity, and social responsibility. Demographic shift in urbanization, including population growth, urbanization impact NGOs working on issues such as poverty, education, and community development. The trends of data-driven decision-making, transparency, and democratization of information contributes to more effective solutions in areas such as healthcare, education, and social justice. And the last trend for today will be the emergence of humanitarian and innovative solutions as they shape the future of NGOs involved in crisis response, humanitarian aid, and development. Such technologies as drones, blockchain, and biotechnology, they all have potential to revolutionize those fields. It's important to consider that these trends in your strategic planning for the future, as these mega and meta trends create both challenges and opportunities for you as NGOs, and of course for the rest of us too. And I can't stress enough the importance of adaptability, collaboration between all of us, and leveraging technology to address the evolving global issues. So what about the technologies? What emerging technologies are available to be utilized to address the problems we looked at and corresponding to the trends that we looked at just now? Several emerging technologies hold the potential to address the challenges faced by you and align with the mentioned megatrends. I've picked some of them, and also I will be mentioning the most obvious ideas, how to apply them in solving global problems. So first, the most important to my mind is artificial intelligence and machine learning. And they can be used for data analysis, pattern recognition, and predictive modeling. In humanitarian efforts, AI can optimize resource allocation and aid distribution during crisis. Blockchain technology is the next, as it enhances transparency and accountability in financial transactions. In areas such as humanitarian aid and philanthropy, it can ensure that resources reach the intended beneficiaries securely. It's also used for transparent supply chain management and environmental conservation efforts. The next technology of Internet of Things, it can be employed for remote monitoring of environmental conditions, public health data collection, and disaster response. Biotechnology and genomics, they're used in environmental conservation, so that they help in biodiversity monitoring and conservation efforts. Drones and unmanned aerial vehicles are available in disaster response, delivering medical supplies to remote areas, and conducting aerial surveys for environmental monitoring. They can enhance also the efficiency of search and rescue operations. Augmented reality and virtual reality technologies can be applied in education to provide immersive learning experiences. In healthcare, they aid in medical training and patient care, and VR can also be used for virtual tours to raise awareness about environmental issues. The next technology is 5G. It enables faster and more reliable communication. It may be crucial in disaster response, remote healthcare consultations, and data-driven applications. Of course, robotics. These are used in healthcare for tasks like surgery and patient care. In disaster zones, robots can assist in search and rescue operations, and agricultural robots contribute to sustainable farming practices. Of course, renewable energy technologies. Advancements in solar, wind, and other renewable energy technologies contribute to environmental sustainability. 3D printing and additive manufacturing. They're used in healthcare for personalized prosthetics and medical implants. In disaster scenarios, it allows on-site production of essential items. And in education, it can facilitate the creation of teaching aids. Another technology to be used is precision agriculture. It utilizes technologies like Internet of Things and data analytics to optimize farming practices. Self-driving vehicles, such as autonomous vehicles, can be used in logistics and supply chain management, especially in delivering aid and resources during humanitarian crises. They also have applications in transportation for people with mobility challenges. And last but not least, satellite technologies aid in environmental monitoring, weather forecasting, and disaster response. Your organization can leverage space technologies for better data collection and communication in remote areas. Oh, I have two more for you. So this is doesn't work. Some technical. Crisis mapping and geospatial technologies. They can help NGOs to visualize and analyze spatial data for effective decision making during disasters, environmental monitoring, and community development projects. And nanotechnology can be applied in medicine, environmental science, and material science. In healthcare, it can contribute to target drug delivery and diagnostics. But so we mentioned all of these technologies, but to my mind, it's important to understand that technologies are just tools. It's of course interesting to know how they work, but even more important to know how we can apply them. So actually, many of these technologies that I mentioned, they're multifunctional meta tools and can be applied in various ways across many industries and areas of life. And when strategically integrated into your work, they can enhance your ability to address complex global challenges. And the most effective way to do so would be to stay informed, to explore collaborations with the tech partners, and to build digital skills necessary to leverage these technologies effectively in your specific domains to create positive impact. And so now we have these three ingredients: problems, trends, and technology tools. But even more important to know is what are your values behind your work? What results do you want to achieve? What is your purpose? So this question I will leave open for you to answer later when you will be doing the exercise of creating your own visions of the future. And as for now, we will base our visions of the future on the human happiness in its broad understanding. So what visions of the future set in 20 years from now, in 2044, can we talk about today? I've prepared a couple, and the first is the vision of global digital empowerment. So in 2044, a significant portion of the global population, especially in underserved communities, has gained access to digital skills and technologies. NGOs play a pivotal role in digital literacy programs, fostering a more digitally empowered and connected world. These initiatives can focus on providing underserved communities with essential skills such as coding, digital communication, and online collaboration. The next vision is a vision of precision global health. By 2044, precision medicine and AI-driven diagnostics have become the standard in global healthcare. NGOs leverage advanced healthcare technologies to provide personalized treatments, reducing health disparities and improving overall health outcomes. A vision of environmental resilience through technology. Environmental NGOs armed with advanced technologies such as drones, Internet of Things, sensors, and artificial intelligence have successfully implemented data-driven conservation strategies, and this has led to increased resilience in ecosystems, better resource management, and more sustainable coexistence in the planet. A vision of humanitarian aid in the age of robotics. NGOs in 2044 deploy autonomous drones and robots for swift and efficient humanitarian aid delivery in disaster-stricken areas. These technologies, combined with AI for logistics optimization, significantly enhance the speed and effectiveness of relief efforts. A vision of inclusive and immersive future education. In 2044, education NGOs have embraced augmented reality and virtual reality to create immersive and inclusive learning experiences. Students worldwide, regardless of their location, have access to high-quality education through digital platforms. A vision of blockchain for transparent philanthropy. In 2044, blockchain technology has revolutionized philanthropy and aid distribution. Transparent and decentralized systems ensure that resources reach their intended recipients securely, fostering trust in charitable activities worldwide. Next is the vision of sustainable agriculture 4.0. In 2044, precision agriculture powered by Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and data analytics has transformed global farming practices. NGOs support farmers with advanced technologies, optimizing crop yields, reducing environmental impact, and addressing food security challenges. Another vision is a vision of global collaboration hub for crisis response. In 2044, again, a centralized global hub powered by advanced technologies facilitates real-time collaboration among governments, NGOs, and tech companies during crisis. This hub enables swift and coordinated responses to humanitarian emergencies. A vision of empowered communities with renewable energy. NGOs leveraging renewable energy technologies and community engagement have empowered local communities worldwide. Off-grid and sustainable energy solutions have led to improved living conditions, economic development, and reduced environmental impact. And in the vision of interconnected space for global monitoring, we see that in 2044, advanced space technologies, including satellites and AI-driven analytics, contribute to global monitoring and decision-making. NGOs utilize space-based data for environmental conservation, disaster response, and addressing complex societal challenges. These were the visions of the future. They paint a future where technology, guided by ethical considerations, is a powerful force for positive change. You can expand those scenarios, base your own scenarios on them, or create something totally different. So I've prepared for you a short instruction with a template, how to create your own visions. I encourage you to take a screenshot now as we are not going to go through all of these instructions, I specifically prepared it for you to use later if you would like to create your own visions of the future. So the instructions here are straightforward, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach me out on LinkedIn. If you will have any questions, I will be glad to help. And when you have your visions ready, what can you do with them? So you can create both desirable visions of the future and catastrophic visions of the future. So for the first, you will do planning how to achieve those visions. Usually it's a backcasting planning when you take steps from the future to the present, one step back, one step back, one step back, until you reach the present moment. And for the catastrophic visions and scenarios, you would like to do something that's called contingency planning, how to prevent the disasters or how to mitigate them. So foresight, to my mind, it's the key to creating the futures that we like. I believe that foresight is our compass in navigating the future because it's so uncertain. It involves prioritizing human well-being. It involves making decisions today that positively impact future generations. And it's important to harness the emerging technologies for the social good. And I believe that collaboration between NGOs, business, entrepreneurs, and governments is the key to amplifying the efforts to address global challenges and promote well-being. And now, as this program concludes, and you return to your daily routines armed with the new skills and new knowledge, it would be great if you consider how to apply these tools to create the futures that you desire. So how can you apply your ideas and skills to create the future that you want? How can your organization engage in futures thinking practices? I believe that it would be great if you can engage your organization in futures thinking practices, and if you can personally contribute to the creation of better, happier futures for us and our children. Remember that at every single point in time, we have endless scenarios how the future might unfold. The future is complex, undefined. There are so many actors creating the future, and it doesn't exist yet. And so we are all capable of influencing what it will be. So I encourage you to be a futurist yourself. And what does that mean to be a futurist? So, for example, my role as a futurist is not just to explore the visions of the future, but also to actively facilitate the creation of beneficial futures. For example, I advocate for the introduction of futures thinking into educational curricula. And until then, I also create educational programs and spread the knowledge about futures thinking principles. And this is also what you can do to encourage your colleagues, your friends, your family to think of the future in a structured and mindful way. Because the more people we engage in responsible futures thinking practices, the more people base their actions on these principles, the more chances that we will build the world that we like and we and our children like in some 20, 30, 40 years from now. So collaboration is very important. And if you would like to participate in the future research projects that I'm running, please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Here is my LinkedIn handle. I will be glad to hear your insights and experiences. This all can contribute to the research of the future and creating the visions that we all like or that we all want to avoid. And so, closing this presentation, I would like to say that even though nobody knows what's in the future, though future is undefined and complex, there exists a sequence of events and actions, results and consequences, and we are entirely capable of influencing what will be. And as the first step is to gain the knowledge, I would like to thank you for participating in this program, as this is already an extra commitment from you for creating a positive impact in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alena. And we do have questions already, a couple of questions. We don't have that much time, so let's take a look at these two. First one is more like an overall question, your personal look at what may happen. But yeah, what is your personal technology prediction for the next 5 years? What do you yourself expect might happen?
Let me take the how to make personal future prediction more realistic.
No, here on the screen, I already added the banner. You can see the
Oh,
blue
sorry,
question.
I'm not that good with this presenting software yet.
That's okay.
I spent my time on maternity leave while everyone was using Zoom and everything. So what is your personal tech prediction for the next 5 years? Personal tech prediction. Well, for the next 5 years is actually not the time frame that I'm looking at. I'm used to looking at the time frames like 20, 30, 50 years from now. But I see that artificial intelligence is gaining more and more popularity. And so if you are thinking about creating some business of yours or leveraging some or trying to promote your career, I would encourage you to start learning how to communicate with AI because it has its own language. So would be very nice right now to start learning prompt engineering, as this is just another language how to talk to AI. And then I would encourage you to take a look at the technologies, emerging technologies that are not that well known yet. So we exclude AI, Internet of Things, robotics, blockchain, AR, VR, and take a look at something like in Wikipedia, there is a very good list of the emerging technologies, some 250 of them. And if you find something that resonates with you, you can use that to start your own business right now. And I can promise you that in 20 years, you are going to be super successful.
Okay, thank you so much for that suggestion. And then the next question, how to make personal future predictions more realistic? How to make them as close to the reality as possible? Basically, what are the tools you use to make the predictions when you do that as a futurist?
Actually, right now, this is thank you for this question. This is what I'm thinking about all the time now as I'm preparing the course, how to apply futurist thinking for personal life. And the thing is that actually we can't plan for the future, but as I said, we can explore what may happen. We have to look at so many different factors. We have to explore. It's called complexity and systems thinking. We have to think of so many factors like who you are, what is the world around you, what are the trends shaping the world, what are the emerging technologies, again, because they are going to be defining for the future that will be around us. And so you have to think of all of that and then to think of your desires, your personal values, how you want your life to be like. You can plan for that. You can come up with the visions and scenarios for your personal life, but then you have to take action. So how much realistic those predictions are only depends on what action you take. So if you come up with the vision and you make the plan how to achieve that vision and you act upon it, it can be realistic. If we just come up with the vision and do nothing, so it's just a wish that will never come true. So I advocate for action because, like, again, to be a futurist, like everyone who thinks of the future is a futurist. So every one of us, if we think what we are going to do tomorrow, in a year from now, or planning vacation, we're a futurist. It's futurist thinking. So yes, it's important to plan, but also important to act.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And then the final question, a bit more personal, in this case, I guess. How did you decide to become a futurist?
Oh, thank you for this question. So actually, I didn't know that futurist is a profession for which you can be where you can actually get money and can be paid as a professional. This is something that I was always interested in, how the future might evolve, and I was having businesses around innovation and technology and creative thinking, but I never knew that futurists are actually professionals. So at one point when I just had my son born and I was learning how to deal with this new reality that I have to take care of a new human and I can't work, but I still want to do something. I discovered a course how to create artifacts from the future, and then I like the whole new universe opened for me, realizing that hey, futurist is actually a profession and you can do that professionally. And then I started learning all the foresight tools and studying the trends like more systematically, studying technology systematically, and creating the visions of the future and creating the consulting products and everything like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So thanks to my son.
That's a nice story. Okay, then thank you so much, Alena, for joining us today, for sharing the look at the future and also giving a task to the participants what they should do. And yeah, maybe you have something you want to say to the participants before you depart from the stage, so to say.
Well, thank you for having me, and I really hope that you would try to make that exercise. This is actually a slide from my presentation on how to apply futures thinking to personal life. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be glad to answer and yeah, help you with planning the future.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So we will be moving forward. There's still quite a lot of ground to cover during the session. And for that reason, we are going to go over to our next speaker. We did send out previously an open invitation for the participants to also share their experience stories. Two of the participants replied and applied to take part, but one of those applications did come a bit too late. So we are going to have just one speaker, but we are super happy to have her participate here and share her experience story. And so yeah, as I mentioned in the beginning, the topic is going to be bridging the gap, the impact of digital technologies on civil society empowerment. So without further ado, I would love to welcome to the stage Lucine Tocian. Lucine, welcome to the stage.
Hello. Hi, Paul. Thank you for having me here.
Pleasure having you here. Pleasure having you on this side of the program, so to say, the screen maybe. Okay, I'll hand the stage over to you.
Thanks. So, as Paul mentioned, I'm one of the participants of Digital ABC, the project run by Riga Tech, and really it was my pleasure, and it is my pleasure to be in this project and walked through each session and try to grab any useful information or tips that I could use, or now I'm currently using here in my workplace as an NGO worker. So, Paul, please, could you share my presentation? Thank you very much. So, I want to say that I represent Collaborative Educational Project NGO, which is located in Yerevan, Armenia. And today's topic that I'm going to cover is about the impact of digital technology in our civil society work. So today I'm going to talk about my personal experience, and if you have any questions, it will be my pleasure to answer. First of all, I want to mention that it is it is worth to mention that not always people who have knowledge, ability, and wish can afford to organize civil work or initiatives. Due to advancement and availability of digital technology, there are opportunities which make a possibility to organize civil work initiatives. So let me show based on my own experience. So when my sister and I decided to found an NGO in 2019, we had a zero budget, but a big wish and skills to conduct these kind of initiatives and projects. Our space education, especially public education, and we saw that there was a little engagement from civil society organizations into the public education. And also in some cases, there was the absence of monitoring and observing about the project, especially in the public education, which we can say is the formation of the citizen, which begins. And there were through a few training sessions for teachers, especially on topics such as digital and media literacy, or how to become an active citizen, or how to use digital technology in class and so on. Therefore, it was a primary necessity to organize these kind of sessions or projects via non-formal education. And besides that, there was a necessity to research the work which is done by the state bodies and also monitor the new implemented systems. Making a precise goal, we decided to register our organization. Now a question can arise that was it possible to conduct all this stuff without registration? Definitely, it's possible. But when you have a registered organization, to get information from state bodies is easier, and to collaborate with international organizations requires a state registration. And the most important in the society, when you are a registered organization and works transparently, of course, you have more trust. Now let me introduce how we established an NGO due to the advancement and possibility given by the digital technologies and without big expenses. The first step to found the organization, we should have the necessity documentation. But for that, we also needed some like a legal documentation that we should gather, and maybe we should use some service, which I could highlight that in Armenia, legal service is somehow high cost. And in that moment, we can say that a website recently had been launched, founded by the European Union, which called eregister.am, where all procedure, all documentation have been provided there. And based on that information, we could establish our NGO. We gather all the documentation and we could establish it. And also I want to mention that in this digital era, there is no need to have a space because currently all our employees work remotely online. And if we need a space for a specific project, we rent it. But we don't try to keep the space permanently, as we don't need. And one of the most important components for the functionality of the organization is to engage the audience. And at that time, when we established our NGO, just the COVID-19 pandemic broke down in Armenia too, and all educational institutions shifted to online study. And I could mention that education system was not ready, and also teachers did not have enough skills to conduct online lessons productively. Thus, our organization was one of the organizations who tried to organize and launch online training sessions for teachers, where all necessary platforms, tools have been provided in order to conduct online lessons. And we made also tutorials in our native language, Armenian. And we made different video tutorials on different topics, such as how to collaborate and run online whiteboards, how to use the digital technology in an online lesson, or how to create online classrooms, how to make tests, and so on. So with several months, within a couple of thousands people started to follow our social sites, and who needed these tools. All we know to open a social site, such as on Facebook, is free of charge, but to reach the audience, target audience, we have to pay for ads. But we cannot deny the importance of social sites is to unite people around the same issue. To publish educational videos, as we know, YouTube is a great channel, platform to use it. By the way, all videos that we made, we used free video editors such as Movie Maker, Clipchamp, UCut application, and so on. When we started to research the legal framework of the education system and the work conducted by the Ministry of Education, we also made reports, and we needed to run a website. So to run a website, what do we need is like a domain and hosting, which does not cost a lot of money. But for developing and creating the website, we tried to do ourselves by watching video tutorials. And so far, we try to add new features. We try to develop our website and add more functionality there. So another important platform that I would like to mention is eRequest.am, which is again funded by the European Union. And it gives an opportunity to carry out the correspondence between the authorities and the citizens, and who can get and contact, of course, to our state bodies, get precise information, explanation. As we are short of time, I'd like to sum up here, and because I just pointed out the key factors, how digital technologies could impact on our civil work. So it was my pleasure to share my own experience. So thanks for your attention. And if you have questions, I'm open to answer it.
Thank you so much, Lucina. There is one question. Let me just get it ready. What digital tools are you using for team collaboration or program management? Can you say?
Yeah, as our team is not so big, we didn't use the platforms that during the sessions you have, of course, introduced and presented us. But I hope that in near future, when we are going to have a big a community and environment, and of course, I think the tools that have been suggested during the sessions, the toolkit that we know after the session, I think we will use it. But so far, we try to keep it again, we use Slack for connecting and keeping the track of the projects, and also we use a lot of Google tools, so like collaborative Drive share, and of course Gmail, that we try to contact each other. But generally, other tools we didn't try to use so far.
Okay. Thank you so much. And another question, just sheer interest having you here on the stage. Personally, what tools you might start using after the program ends, after Digital ABC? Are there anything that stood out for you that, oh, this seems like something that we definitely need to implement?
Yeah. So what I want to say that recently, as the AI tools have been introduced, currently here, of course, we don't have that kind of engagement in AI tools, especially in education sector. So personally now I'm thinking how we can adapt AI tools in our education process in order to make it easier our teachers' job. But as we know, it's like the main language is English. It's a little difficult for our educators to run this project or to use these tools. So currently, I'm trying to figure it out how I can use, for example, these tools in near future.
I can mention that some of the tools that do have other languages as well, but yeah, it definitely takes it's not as great as in English. That's the problem, but they are still being developed, and I know that in Latvian they can be used, but still, it's still in its baby steps. No, but it's initial steps. But it's going to get better, hopefully, and so that also schools will be able to use it there. But okay, it seems like we are out of the questions for now. Let me just check the website quickly as well. Maybe something appeared there. But if not, then so much thank you for joining this session, for being brave enough to get here on the stage to share your experience story. Maybe there's something you want to say to the other participants before leaving the stage.
Yes, first of all, I want to say thank you, Paul, and thank you every organizer of the Digital ABC that gives us this outstanding chance to be here, to participate in like productive sessions that we had during the program. And what I want to say that what I have taken after these sessions, I could say from my personal experience that now when I'm trying to work on projects, I try to visualize and design the prototype of the projects more constructive, which thanks to these sessions that I participated. And of course, I follow the tips suggested by the speakers during the session. So a big thank you to everyone, every organizer of this project.
We are really happy to hear this, that it has been valuable and that you're already implementing the things that we have been talking about. So yeah, it's definitely music to my ears. So once again, thank you so much for joining this session, for getting here on the stage, and also sharing your experience. Thank you so much, Alena.
Thank you too.
And now, once again, there's still more to go in this closing session. Nothing yet is done. We're not closing this session yet. And that's why we are going to move forward as well. And, during this program, during this course, during Digital ABC, we have been talking about a lot of different tools, a lot of different technologies. And as I mentioned in the beginning, it can sometimes get a bit overwhelming. So that's why it is important that we think about our well-being, our own personal well-being, and in this case, maybe about our digital well-being. And to talk about this topic, I would love to invite to the stage my dear colleague, project manager at Riga TechGirls, Oksana Tatarina. Oksana, welcome to the stage once again.
Hello, nice to meet you once again. Nice to see you. Okay, not see you in person, unfortunately, but I hope, who knows, someday maybe we might come across together. Okay, this is the final session. I will definitely say a couple of final words at the very end of the session, but first, let me share my presentation with you and share my ideas and information and some research that I found for today's session about digital well-being. Well, digital technology is like a double-edged sword that can be used for both good and bad, So when it's used to enhance our lives and the lives of others, it's called digital wellness or digital well-being. Well, there are certainly many advantages and disadvantages to digital technology. Overdoing, as Paul's already mentioned, is never a good idea. So in our Digital ABC program, we looked at a large number of approaches, tools, and services like project and product management and data management and digital tools for different purposes and modern so far, digital technologies. And however, there is one very important aspect that I would like also to talk to you about today and bring it to the table. So this is digital well-being. Well, this concept is always with us, like an invisible shadow, because it's an attribute of the digital world. But, I really know really few people who might consciously apply this approach to their lives. So the topic of the digital well-being overlaps in a way with the Dimas and Alexei's previous sessions. So they said that modern technology is a smart, interesting, and useful, but still a tool. So like a hammer, simply put. But we don't depend on a hammer, do we? Okay, so what is digital well-being? I came across with a lots of definitions and opinions on that, what it is. For example, there is a definition from UNESCO that digital well-being is the enhancement and improvement of human well-being in the intermediate and long term through the use of digital media. So Google has another definition of digital well-being. So this is a state of satisfaction that people achieve when digital technology supports their intentions. Another definition of well-being is it is about crafting and maintaining a healthy relationship with technology. This one also from Google. So if you summarize them, then you get something like digital well-being is a state of personal well-being experienced through the healthy use of digital technology. But if you ask me, my personal feeling of it is this is about finding a balance with technology that feels right for you. Of course, digital well-being is very important for a number of different reasons. And chief of them being that too much usage of digital devices comes from a number of health issues like eye strain, wrist pain, like back and shoulder aches, poor sleep, and some others. But, digital well-being itself is not just a case of switching off your phone at night, for example. It's a broader and more important concept. You can see through the DCOMP framework. A couple of words about this concept that you see on the screen right now. This is the Digital Competence Framework for Citizens, its current version. So the Digital Competence Framework for Citizens, simply DCOMP, provides a common and basic understanding of what digital competence is, like a common language that helps to identify and to describe the key areas of digital competence. So here you can see 5 competence areas outlined. They are the following: information and data literacy, communication and collaboration, then digital content creation, safety, and problem solving. So these first 3 areas deal with competencies that can be tracked back to specific activities and uses. But on the other hand, areas number 4 and 5, safety and these problem-solving dimensions, they are like transversal because they apply to any type of activity carried out through digital means. And experts have added digital well-being to this DCOMP 2.2 competence list, intentionally, of course, because they emphasize that this is as important a skill as data management and programming. And by the way, when developing the digital ABC program, we also refer to this DCOMP framework. Oh, okay, agreed. Digital well-being is how technologies and digital services impact on people's mental, physical, and emotional health. But let's take a broader look at this concept, because we can view this from an individual perspective, like personal, learning, and work context. So that means that you should identify and understand the positive benefits and any potential negative aspects of dealing and engaging with different digital activities, and being quite aware of different ways how to manage and control this to improve well-being. Give just example. So how to manage your digital workload, how to use digital systems safely, how to avoid different digital distractions, or how to choose the right technology to perform your tasks. This is all about it. On the other hand, we can also view this from organizational perspective, where service providers need to take responsibility of and to ensure that digital systems, services, or even content are well managed, supported, and accessible. For example, to collect feedback from employees on digital well-being level, how do they feel about it? It's about this. Or to create and to maintain a corporate culture that supports digital well-being. This is about the organizational perspective of digital well-being. Okay, let's dive a deeper. There is an NGO in UK called Joint Information Systems Committee, JISC. This NGO provides IT services and research for other NGOs. So they developed a digital well-being model for individuals. So this model is on your screens, and shows 4 aspects of individual digital well-being. At the bottom, you could see 2 figures, 2 triangles, that represent the potential positive and negative impact of technology on well-being. Then in the middle, this triangle focuses on the potential for technologies to improve well-being. And the top triangle emphasizes that individuals need both awareness and capacity to change their digital practices and digital habits. Okay, and here I'd like to challenge you a bit with a small assignment. You don't have to do it right now, no, but you definitely can come back to it at any time, after some time, and more interesting, you can periodically review your answers. So the first question to you from me is, how technologies can improve your digital well-being as an individual? Again, no need to answer it right now. Just think about it and find your personal solution. And then I have another question for you. How we, as an organization, can support digital well-being? What can be done in your NGOs, in your organizations, to maintain the digital well-being culture for your colleagues, for your subordinates, managers, clients, and even customers? Well, okay, no more home task from me. Yeah, this is where we won't stop. We will continue definitely, but these 2 questions, just think about them. Well, when we're talking about digital well-being, what it is, we cannot but mention digital boundaries and digital hygiene. They usually go together. So what is digital hygiene? And a bit later, we will move to the digital boundaries as well. So digital hygiene, this is the practices and some personal habits to maintain this safely and secure digital lifestyle. So it's like similar to personal hygiene. And we know quite a lot about it since COVID time. So to keep a body clean and healthy, digital hygiene, this is some proactive measures to ensure a safe interaction with the digital world. Simply put, is all about the ways you use your devices and the precautions you take in order to keep your data and personal information organized and secure. Well, I will not touch on the importance of data management here. First, I guess this is quite obvious. And second, we have already covered this in the data management model. So I better encourage you to rewatch the related sessions. And 4 pillars of digital hygiene, you might see it on the screen. First is password management, of course. It's like the cornerstone of their password management system because passwords play one of the major roles. And definitely experts and I personally highly recommend using any password managers and applications like LastPass and Keeper and one of the most popular 1Password. privacy settings and permissions. This is about how to understand and control the privacy settings on various online platforms. Just regularly review this and update these settings to restrict access to personal information. Here, you can address to personal data security and institutional data security session recordings we had earlier in this data management module, right? Just as we maintain our physical spaces and our physical selves, we need to keep our digital devices in good shape, of course. So just update operating systems and your software, install security patches, run antivirus scans. So this helps definitely to avoid potential vulnerabilities. If you are not using specific applications and old accounts, just delete them. If you are no longer using physical devices, just reset your device to factory defaults so that the data on it cannot be accessed. This way, for example, if you dispose or donate or sell your device, an outsider will not accidentally access everything that was on it. The last is, not least, but one of the most important pillars, data backup. Yes, digital hygiene approach emphasizes the importance of doing and backupping up data regularly. Whether it's important to work documents or personal photos, having a backup ensures that you can recover essential information in the event of device failure, or even you lost the device, or even like cyber attack. Hopefully not. Well, and here I also link you to the recording of cloud storage session where we also touched upon this topic. You know that in last year, 2022, Asana, project management software company, as we already know it, did a report, did research, and this research shown that more than 50% of people, they were surveyed across various generations, different countries. They said that they experience burnout recently, and they were not just working parents. There were everyone, even young individuals in the workplace, and all that as a result of this research, as a conclusion of this research, they said that it requires boundaries, irrespective of parental or marital status, gender, or age. If you're starting to feel a lack of boundaries, it might negatively impact your health, and it may be time to establish new personal digital rules. So, couple of words about digital boundaries and some hints and tips how to set them. Well, we know about business etiquette, right? So, but there is another type of etiquette called netiquette. This is digital etiquette, and it fulfills the same function in online space. So digital etiquette is based on the same principles as in-personal face-to-face etiquette. So respecting personal boundaries, managing resources, and showing respect. And because digital communication might be just as exhausting as in-personal ones. And there are few techniques to keep this communication comfortable. First is define the main channel of communication. Of course, people are using online services in different ways. For some people, the working channel is Telegram or WhatsApp. Others use messengers only for memes and friends and accept work tasks exclusively only by emails, while others are ready to communicate on work only in working messenger, for example, in Slack. Decide which channel is convenient for you and inform everyone who needs to communicate with you on work, and inform others if needed. What about the backup communication channel? Please define it, and your colleagues should know how to notify you in case in force majeure, for example. The phone is usually the backup channel of communication, right? But in addition, you might leave instruction in case you don't answer the phone, but the message should definitely reach you. Agree on the time of communication. Keep in mind the time zones issue. If you work in a remote distributed team, the boundaries of your working day and the working day of your colleague might not match. And here you can use scheduled messages that can be sent in a time convenient for your colleagues. Let me give an example. I'm an owl personally, meaning I'm more productive in the second part of the day, whereas some of my colleagues are steady morning birds. So as a rule, I set my messages to be sent in the morning. Here I might also mention auto-reply. It doesn't have to be for all messages, of course, but it is useful if you're on holiday or emails arrive at the weekend. Sometimes people just want confirmation that a message has been received. And some are even willing to make a phone call to check whether it is. In order not to be disturbed by a question about receiving a message, just set an auto-reply. You can also specify how long it will take you to reply. For example, in Riga TechGirls, we have ground rules for answering emails, and any email should be answered in 24 hours time. Okay. And now let me add more about digital well-being. And here I will add some digital tools for digital well-being. I know this sounds like an oxymoron, but still. You can also consider this as a part of the module about digital tools for different purposes that we already have. Well, one moment meditation, one simple exercise as it is, just meditate 1 minute. You can learn to meditate quickly, powerfully, even if you've never meditated before. Very, very simple, and I really like it. Then Forest, this is like self-motivated application, and this is a quite interesting method to help you, beat internet addiction. Well, this application takes on creative approach to help you to stay focused when you start your study or working session, or you start working on your tasks. You plant a tree in this in-app forest. As you work, this tree will begin to grow. But if you just pick up your phone and leave the app, your tree dies. So you can collect and add more trees to your forest the more you focus. So yeah, this is an interesting option. Then Tide, it's good combination of productivity, wellness, and with beautiful design, right? This is about sleep sounds, focus timer, and relaxation meditation. You can set up your personal Pomodoro's focus sessions as well in this application. I really like this cold turkey application. This allows to block websites, games, and applications to keep your productivity. If you still find yourself getting distracted, get this one. This is right for you. Cold turkey application will allow you to start a timer during which distracting website will be blocked entirely. This is it. Happify. Here, this application aims to help you to reduce stress, to reduce anxiety and negative thinking, and this is about your emotional well-being. Then Headspace, very nice. This is a science-backed application about mindfulness and meditation. with some unique tools and features, with different resources to help, again, reduce stress, to build your personal resilience, and to help better sleep. And I can't but mention the program from Google, initiative from Google called Google Wellbeing. Is an approach that will help users teach how to balance their digital lives. So there is an application, but I will share my screen in a moment. So this program and initiative helps you evaluate, assess the extent of your gadget engagement, and will give good practical advice on how to configure and optimize your devices. Let me share you my screen. So it should be visible right now, right? Okay, so this is the digital well-being webpage, well-being at Google. So a lot of different good tips and tricks and for everyone. You can see it in the screen. Then for families, even for developers and their commitment about the program. But how to get started, the program will help you to evaluate the specific time you spend on the technology. So when you click on the button Start Experience, they will start asking you questions, some sentences, and you should answer, I tend to lose track of time when I'm on my phone. Is it for you? Do it never, or really, or sometimes, or often? No, well, sometimes. Okay, the next question. So I feel the need to check my phone right away if it vibrates or makes a sound. For me, it's quite rare because I've never heard a sound of my phone because it's in a vibration mode always. Okay, and here, after you complete all these statements, then you will see the personal recommendations about this current experience with technologies. All right. Let me, yes, back to the presentation. So those are just a small amount of different applications and tools that might be used to maintain your digital well-being. Okay, and the last but not least, sure, have a digital detox for yourself. Just give up gadgets for a while. Of course, in today's world, it's impossible to give up gadgets completely, but it's quite realistic to organize a small digital diet. You might switch off notifications in all applications that do not require your immediate attention. Put the phone in the silent mode. Set time limits on social networks. Oh, there's a nice tip. Uninstall social media applications on your phone and log in only from the desktop version. It will definitely decrease the amount of time you spend on this social media. Go shopping or go outside, go hiking without your phone. Take a pause to respond to messages. You don't need to respond to them right now, right? Use helper apps to support digital detox. I already mentioned some. Some experts, they advise to turn your phone to grayscale and check your email less. A recent study, by the way, found that checking emails 3 times a day is more productive than constant checking. And there is a nice tool, deprocrastination.co, and they have a nice bunch of advice to help you find your habits, digital habits to apply to your life. And I really like this advice. Use the rule of 3 senses. Keep your phone out of sight, out of reach, and out of hearing. So it's nice. You won't be distracted by your phone. So make your phone less appealing. Well, I think that this is it from me, from my side. Me in Pulse encourage you to charge not your digital devices, but your personal battery. So thank you so much for being with us for this long journey. And Pulse, welcome to the stage.
Thank you so much, Oksana. And we do have a couple of questions for you as well before we move on, before we start closing off this, closing session and the closing program. The first one I'd like to ask is, how do you maintain your own personal well-being? What is it you do?
Well, as already mentioned, what I'm doing, I put my phone in a silent mode. So if I really need and I'm waiting for a call, I definitely switch on the phone or switch on the voice. They put it in the loud mode. But basically, even if you ask me what's the sound of your phone, I cannot recall it really. Then I have specific time slots during the day when I'm like doing my tasks. So mostly in the morning, I'm checking emails, and in the evening, I'm checking emails. And during the day, I have like specific time blocks, and this helps me concentrate on the task and be like more productive in a way. Then I'm fan of apps. You might notice it already, and I like this 1 minute meditation application really much. It helps me just to clear my mind, and if I need to think about something important or to solve some issue at my work environment, I will switch it on and try to clear my mind, and the solution then might come. Then I take regular breaks, meaning that, okay, I have kids. It's obvious you might notice them on the background from time to time, but that means this blocking system, time blocking system, that also refers to my not working time, but my personal time. So I have working time blocks during the day, and I definitely have some intervals when I'm not working at all, and I'm mostly 3 times a day. So in the morning, half an hour, then in the midday, half an hour, and in the evening, half an hour. And again, I'm an owl, and if there is something urgent, I can always catch up different tasks at night, almost at night. So yeah. And in Riga TechGirls, it's if it's not a secret, Pulse, can I talk it about openly? We have also some.
I don't know. What is it you want to talk about?
I would like to talk about some ground rules about the communication that we have in Riga TechGirls, for example. We have. It's not a rule, but it's like I would call it a politeness. I would call it etiquette that we're using in our organization, that we are not fans to send working emails after 6 o'clock, after the end of the working day. You rarely see someone on Slack, in case, okay, you can see me. And we definitely keep in mind we're trying to keep this balance, work-life balance, and we're not disturbing people during holidays, during weekends, and after working hours. Maybe there is something you can add, Pulse.
Regarding what we do,
Mm-hmm.
I think you've already covered the main things that really we try to keep it to the working times. I mean, personally, I have sometimes sent emails after the hours, but then again, you always have the option to schedule emails as well. So it depends on whom you're sending it to. But otherwise, yeah, we also, maybe the thing that we try to stick to Slack, of course, or email, but sometimes, of course, we do go into WhatsApp or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there are certain communication tools we try to stick to as much as possible, so that we don't get thrown out of the boat. WhatsApp we usually use for some get-togethers or something like that, or if it's really something urgent. There was another question. You pretty much, I think, already answered it. It was by Lucina, and she asked if you take care of your digital well-being frequently, and as a challenge is to follow it every day.
Well, this is really challenging, honestly, and I'm trying. I'm honestly trying to make it my new habit, but I'm not a saint, you know. We're all like human beings, and that means they have my own ups and downs. But I'm trying to. I'm trying to stick to this routine because this makes me feel more productive, more efficient, and more happy after after that. Yeah, it's challenging. That's true because you need to make it as a separate task. So digital well-being is a separate project, you might call it like this. But still, if you won't take care of it, who does?
Okay, perfect. So I'd like to say a huge thank you for also sharing your tips and tricks about the digital well-being. I'm not saying a complete goodbye to you, as you will join the stage
Okay.
at the very end once again. But for now, thank you for sharing this information.
See you in a while.
See you in a moment. And as promised, we are going to do a bit of a review. Let's take a look back at what we have gone through throughout these nearly 3 months. And yeah, for that, I have also prepared this quick presentation. It's not going to be too long, no worries, as we're already, closing the 1.5 hours mark of the session. But there are a couple, data and things I would like to share with you. It's not all of the data I would like to share because we still haven't had the final test, so we don't know how many people have passed exactly all of the tests. The deadline for the tests is also still some ways down the road, and there are a couple of other things that we will later compile, and possibly we will publish the sort of the data from not the personal data, of course, but the compiled anonymized data or the overview of the program. But so yeah, today, as mentioned previously several times, we are already at the closing session. The last time I presented this kind of presentation was at the introductory or the opening session as well. And I know I used the same slide, so I had to change the date from the 18th of September now to the 6th of December. So digital ABC for NGOs, I'm guessing you already quite well know that this is a program for non-governmental organizations as a series of master classes aimed at improving the digital skills of the representatives of these NGOs. And we try to, during this program, provide you with deeper insight into different technologies that could be useful in your everyday and also professional lives. And of course, the main target audience of the program, as the name initially already suggests, those are representatives from different non-governmental organizations. And of course, as the language of the program is English and it's still taking place entirely in a virtual environment using YouTube, using Slack, using emails, basically anyone from any regions around the world were welcome to join. And later on, there are a couple of slides where we'll look at this, how many countries are represented from where all of you came from. And of course, this participation in the program was provided free of charge to all of you who are here. And it was in huge thanks to google.org, the philanthropic organization. They helped us financially so that we could help you by creating this program. And the program itself, as mentioned, it ran from September 18th until December 6th. And during this period, the participants, or you, had the chance to participate in 24 theoretical sessions where we talked about all kinds of digital skills and tools that could hopefully help in your both professional and private lives. But of course, as also mentioned, after the program ends, after today, even though this is the official ending, even though this is the closing session, you will still have the chance to participate in the practical sessions. The practical sessions were planned initially for Saturdays, for certain days, but due to certain reasons that we also understand that not that many people would participate in the live sessions, we decided to move them after the program. But still, all of them you will be able to watch at your own pace. You don't necessarily need to join the live sessions, but we would really love for you to join them. So they will happen in the following dates from 5:30 to 7:30 CET. It's going to be the 11th of December for data analytics, 13th of December for how to create a presentation on Canva, and 14th of December for ChatGPT for documents and reporting. So that's already next week if you're already missing the Digital ABC program. So no worries, there's something to still look forward to. And as you well know, we went through 4 different modules. The first one was regarding product and project management. There we looked at design thinking, user experience, prototyping. We talked about different project management methodologies and other topics as well. The second module, because we understood that data is a very, very important topic nowadays. It's basically like oil. Everybody wants to have as much data. It's super important. But it's also important to know how to use it and how to protect it. And that's why we had this module where we talked about data analytics, where we talked about different tools, how to analyze data, what data is actually valuable. And of course, sessions that we knew from the very start that we would implement in this program, those were data security and how to protect your data and how to protect the data from the institution. Then, of course, we understood that if we are talking about, if we are creating such a course, we do need to have a module where we talk about different tools. We learned about tools for digital tools for efficiency, digital tools for collaboration, digital tools for design, and so on and so forth. And the final 4th module that we are going to be closing today, there we have been talking about different technologies that are either already here or are currently emerging. And of course, here, once again, we knew that AI is a very burning topic. Some of us are already tired of hearing about it, but it's not going away. And as Alena also mentioned, then it is here to stay. It's still going to evolve, and we will need to learn more about it, how to use it maybe in our schools, as Lucina mentioned. So it's definitely a thing that we had to talk about. And all the other technologies we mentioned, they were equally as important as well. But so regarding the participants, regarding some stats, some data, So altogether, we had 829 registered participants. Of course, that doesn't mean that all of the participants actually participated and went from each session to each session. But that's the amount of participants who registered. And they come from 86 different countries, which is a huge number. At least for me, when I saw it, I was a bit flabbergasted that it wasn't something that I actually expected. It was, just surprising to me. And I made a mistake there by writing the name China, but yeah, here you can see the top 5 countries. Of course, as we ourselves, Riga TechGirls, we are from Latvia, then of course it was easiest for us to reach the Latvian audience, and we are very grateful that you also decided to participate here. So we had 314 participants from Latvia. We had 78 participants from Egypt, and this is in a also huge thanks to the Embassy of Latvia in Egypt, because they helped out a lot by reaching out to all of the NGOs working and living there. Then, excuse me, sorry for the mistake by writing the name China, but yeah, we had 34 participants from China. This is also rather a surprise for us, because initially we aimed at the program for Europe, because we ourselves are in Europe. We thought that, okay, we are just going to focus on Europe. But that one moment, as I read previously, that the program was in English and was completely virtual. So, everybody could really participate. And that's why I was really happy to see that there are so many participants from China, also from Korea, from Japan, and so on and so forth. We also had 28 participants from the United States, and closing off the top 5, we had Romania with 24 separate participants. And to see it all on a map, to see all the 86 different countries, I would love to see everything orange, of course. That would be wonderful. But I mean, like I said, 86 is already a lot. I need to apologize if in case I had accidentally not colored one of the countries that you represent. But basically, yeah, all of the orange countries are the ones that from where participants come from. You are participating from these countries, and it wasn't that easy, honestly, coloring this map. It took a moment because, 86 different countries. Some of them I did, I'm going to be honest, I didn't need to search where it's located, so I would find it on the map so I could color it. But yeah, I'm really, really happy about this fact that all of you represent 86 different countries. Apart from that, Riga TechGirls, we are all about diversity. And so once again, of course, we did anticipate that mainly it would be females participating here. And as you can see, it's the majority of the participants, 646 females. But I'm glad that there's also males participating because, sometimes when you read the name Riga TechGirls, men can tend to maybe think that, okay, this is not for me. We did receive questions. Hey, can men also participate in this? And of course, this program itself, it's inclusive. Anybody, really anybody is welcome to join. And that's why I was also happy to see that we had participants that are gender variant or non-conforming or transgender even. And as for the age groups you represent, we even had participants that are under 18, and we had participants that are over 65 as well. Those were the sort of smallest age groups, but the biggest one you represent is the age from 26 to 35. And then the second one is 36 to 45. I don't have this exact numbers, but as you can see the percentages clearly here. And yeah, we did send you the feedback forms after each of the modules. And why do I have the apostrophe here is because we haven't yet sent the feedback form for the fourth module. We are going to do that tomorrow together with the test for the fourth module. But still, I wanted to, take a look at the data. How have you felt about the sessions that we have had so far? Which are the ones that you have rated the highest? I would still advise some of you that are studying at your own pace to, if you haven't yet, do fill out the feedback forms. We have sent them both via email, and they are all posted on Slack as well, because we would love to have more opinions. But still, currently, the first place is data analysis and processing. So that's together with data usage and tools, those are the two sessions you had rated the highest. And yeah, for those of you who have opened the feedback forms, you already know that it's in the scale from 1 to 7. For the rest, now 7 is the highest number, not the 10. So not all the sessions were that mediocre. And the third one was KPIs and OKRs. I was also happy to see this up there. And then, of course, as I expected, digital tools for presentation and public speech 101, those were some of the sessions you also rated quite highly. And afterwards, yes, we see that you liked marketing as well, content marketing, SEO, design thinking and user experience, fundraising, tools and experience, personal data security, and institutional data security and GDPR. Of course, here, you need to take it with a grain of salt that it's not necessarily the topics that the participants liked. It might be the combination of the topic with the speaker that we had. But still, this shows a trend of which topics you like the most. And of course, the topics or the sessions would not be possible without the speakers. And that's why I definitely want to give a huge thanks to all of the speakers that have participated so far, once again, in the program. As we will have the practical sessions, some extra speakers are gonna appear, but so far we have had 30 speakers. 30 speakers, that's not a small number. And I mean, we have had only 24 sessions altogether, including this one. But yeah, I am gonna thank everyone individually, because I mean, they all deserve a round of applause. They all joined the session. Some of them led the sessions for 1.5 hours straight, and then still answered to your questions. Maybe some led shorter sessions, but still, all of them deserve praise and a round of applause, really, and to be mentioned. So yeah, I want to thank Anna Andersson, the CEO of Riga TechGirls. I want to thank Lisa Belozerova. I want to thank Paul Opostol. I want to, well, I guess thank myself. I want to thank Liga Letiņa, Toms Mūrnieks, Laima Bauer, Nina Levchuk, Justina Cherubin, Mariama Vuri, Alexa Krols, Rita Zagani, Anna Vladimirova Kryokova, Diana Karian, Ras Golbe, Wake Su, Liva Bladelis, Laila Stanciov, Tamara Lilchak, Anna Krasovska, Oksana Tatarina, as well, of course, Kristaps Petersons, Juliana Booz, Kimberly Dmitruk, Vanda Daugsta, Elena Lidera, Alex Velino, Dmitry Sarle, Alena Uhlianica, and, of course, Luzin Topchan. So I definitely want to give, once again, a huge round of applause to all of these speakers who were willing to spend their time here in front of you, trying to share their knowledge, share their expertise, because it's no small feat. Speaking for 1 hour and 30 minutes straight, it's not that easy. I mean, I didn't manage. My session was shorter. So, and of course, by all means, I definitely want to give a special thanks and a huge thanks once again to google.org for sponsoring this. But I definitely want to give a shout out and a special thanks to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Latvia, because without them, we would not have been able to reach such an amount of countries. I know that, as I mentioned, the number of participants we have coming from Egypt, that is in huge, really due to the support that the ministry gave us. So that's why I really wanted to put an emphasis on this as well. And of course, the team behind the program, it's me and it's Oksana, of course, the two people you have seen most, both leading the sessions, both communicating with you on Slack, also via emails, and basically everywhere around this program. But we do want to thank Anna Anderson as well, the CEO of Riga TechGirls. She has also helped a lot with the creation of this program. Iva Stanevich, who helped with the creation of the website, creation of the tests, and so on and so forth. Lima Bauer, who helped with the communication, and of course also with leading a session, and Alena Smilk, who helped with the content and also the creation of this program. So these are the people behind the program, and I really want to give a round of applause myself. And so the question comes to mind, what's next? I mean, you already know that there is going to be the test for the 4th module, and there's going to be the practical sessions, so no surprise there. So as mentioned, the test for the 4th module, it's coming up on December 7th, or, you know, tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to send out the feedback form for the 4th module, and we are going to send out the test for the module as well. Then, as mentioned previously, there are going to be practical sessions on the 11th, 13th, and 14th of December, or, you know, next week from 5:30 to 7:30 CET. Join those as well. And then, of course, as I've mentioned previously, there's a deadline for all of the tests. We had it previously for December 13th, but we decided to give you a bit more time, so you can also, you know, catch up with the sessions maybe you haven't yet seen, and take the tests you haven't yet taken, because all of the tests they're available on our website. Under the test section, you will find currently all 3 of them, but tomorrow all 4 of them. So the deadline for that is the end of this year, December 31st, around midnight. Well, I'm going to be honest, at the midnight, I'm not going to close the tests, but still, let's say that at the midnight they close. So yeah, try to take them all. If you haven't yet managed to take some of them, try to take them all by December 31st. And one important thing to all the people who will have taken tests, who will have passed them, and by passed them I mean gotten 70% of correct answers in each of the tests, you will receive the certificates, and you will receive the certificates by January 13th. I know it's a bit of a wait from today, or, you know, from tomorrow when the final test is sent out, until you receive the certificates. But we will need some time to prepare them. We will need some time to also rest, you know, during the holidays and so on. But we will send them by 13th of January, and we will aim to send them quicker, so no worries. But another thing that is going to come together with the certificates, it's going to be a handbook. It's going to be, well, not a physical one, but although you can print it out, but I don't think it would be of much use. It's going to be a digital handbook. It's going to be a PDF file where we will have compiled all of the sessions, their descriptions, who the speakers were, linked to the specific YouTube video, linked to the slides that the speakers used or speaker used, and maybe some also words like a vocabulary for some, you know, the more technical terms that have been said throughout the program, and their explanations. So we will send you this sort of PDF, this sort of handbook also together with the certificates and together with the feedback form also by January 13th. So those are the things you can expect already in the new year, in the first 2 weeks of the year. And another thing that I'd like to already mention is that now we had the sort of the live run of the program, but it was always intended that people could participate at their own pace. So we are going to be closing the program, this run of the program on December 31st, but on February 1st, we are going to open up the registration once again. So for people, for your colleagues or friends who may want to participate, may have missed the opportunity to register when it was still time, they will have the option on February 1st to register once again. The program, it's not going to be live in this sense where we have the sessions at 7:30 to 5:30 to 7:30 CET. They will have the access to all of the recordings that we have made during this first run of the program, but they will also have the chance to take the tests, to receive the certificates, and we will probably organize some practical sessions there as well, and those are going to be live. So really, if you know anybody who would like to participate in this program, who maybe missed the opportunity, there is going to be another chance to do so. And of course, we are going to be there in the background during that run of the course again. So if the new participants will have any questions, we are going to assist them. We are going to answer the questions. We are going to help out. So it's not like we're just going to open the registration and let it run its course. Of course not. We care about the participants, and we want to make sure that everybody knows their way around and knows how to access whatever it is they want to access during the run of the course. And of course, as always, as I've mentioned 1,000 times, it feels like already, if you have any questions, whether regarding the program or after the program, maybe regarding something else you want to talk about, I don't know, planning the future together or something like that, feel free to reach us through the NGO program at rigatechgirls.com email. We are checking it daily, so we are definitely going to answer you even months after the program has ended. So if you'll have questions about certificates, because it can sometimes happen that the certificate falls in your spam folder and then you don't receive it. If that happens, feel free to reach out through this email as well. So that's it for my presentation here, and that's nearly it for the closing session and nearly it for the Digital ABC for NGOs program. From the bottom of my heart, I really, really wanted to say a huge thank you to you, the participant who is here live now, watching, asking questions, commenting, and also to all of you who are here watching this at whatever time it is more comfortable for you. Because I know that there's a whole lot of you watching this in sort of replay or, at your own pace. And really, from the bottom of our hearts, we want to say thank you. With that being said, I would love to welcome back to the stage Oksana, and I guess let's say some closing words, something you want to say, and I'll give you, of course, the floor over to you first.
Thank you, Pauls. But maybe we will move to a Q&A session, because I noticed that there is a couple of questions in the chat regarding the access to recordings.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much, Alphonse, for this question. And sorry for not mentioning this actually in my presentation. Basically, the recordings, they will be accessible, as I'd like to say, as long as YouTube exists. We don't plan on deleting them. We don't plan on restricting them. You participate in this course. That's why we will create this handbook so that you have the access, let's say, a year or 2 years from now. There is a chance that at some point the website, our website, digitalabc.org, will not be working, but for at least a year or year and a half, it is going to be online. But that's why we have all of the recordings on YouTube. So yeah, basically, as long as YouTube exists, you will have the access to the recordings. So in that sense, there's definitely no hurry, no worries that you need to download something right now as soon as possible so that you could save it. It is going to be there for you when you need it. And, looking at YouTube and how long it's been around, I would, try to make a guess that it's not going to disappear anytime soon. So yeah, it's going to be available. Yeah, Oksana, anything you'd like to say?
Yes, definitely. I would like to say something. Well, that was an incredible journey, I would say. So, and I feel gratitude to each one of you. Well, we, throughout all of these sessions that we had, we've learned, we've discussed, we shared opinions. There was nice discussion on Slack. And well, I feel reflecting a bit on the program in general, I feel the power of collaboration, because it's not just about we've learned individually, but also about the connection that we've made as a community of how many countries? 86 countries. Well, just imagine. Of course, I want to express my deepest appreciation to our speakers and to each participant who brought questions to the table, because your comments, your stories, your opinions, and your willingness to learn, it has been a really great part of our program. Well, so let the lessons learned here would be the stepping stone to even greater achievements. And I would say that, well, remember that end of this program is not the end of your digital journey. So this is just a new beginning. And yes, thank you so much for making this program truly successful. I wish all of you, our dear participants, big success, a lot of joy, especially in these coming winter holidays, and the fulfillment of all your future plans, their travels.
And here I can collaborate. Definitely also success with the whatever work your NGO is doing, because NGOs, we are trying to, help the society. Most of us, I'd say all of us. So whatever work you are doing, whatever work we are doing, it is important. So that's why we created this program. That's why we wanted to help you, because that's the way we know. We know that we have been using these tools and they have helped us throughout the times, and to grow and to learn and to become better. And that's truly we saw it as something important to do. And yeah, as I mentioned previously, as Oksana now mentioned, 86 countries. That's a lot. And I'm truly glad to see that there was interest from so many of you, from such different sides of the earth. I mean, for some of you, we can wish happy Christmas holidays in winter, but for some of you, it's the middle of summer now. So that's the reality of how big of a reach this program gained, and that's why we are truly happy. And of course, the thing that I already mentioned in the previous session, I told Dima that I would borrow his saying or his analogy or metaphor, but I really loved it. I really loved to compare it to colors and painting. That if you know just a couple of tools, let's say 2 tools, there are just 2 colors, and basically you will come up with a black and white picture. And there are some great black and white pictures in the museums around the world, so you can achieve a lot with just 2 things. But we all like some color in our lives, and at some point digital tools can really help you achieve that. So the more you know, the more color you will have to use on whatever you are building, whatever you are creating, however you are helping the society or the country you are residing in. So that's why we are truly happy that you stayed with this program with this course until the end of it, and that you were willing to take everything that we had to offer, that the speakers had to offer, and really that you asked questions and you were curious. And it's a shame that I know that some of you wrote in the feedback forums that can they ask questions later on. Sadly, though, we can't really, in that sense. That's why we had these live sessions. We gave the opportunity to those joining in the live sessions, but still we are grateful for you, for all of you who joined the live sessions, for all of you who are watching this at your own pace. And yeah, I would also just like to wish you all the best with what you are working on. And I truly hope that at least one thing from whatever we talked about during these 24 sessions, I hope at least one thing felt interesting enough for you to dig a bit deeper and to research it a bit more and to start maybe implementing it in your daily lives. Oksana, anything else you want to add?
Nothing to add here.
Okay, then. In that case, I guess this is the time for the closing words. And I definitely want to say, once again, a huge thanks to Alena, to Lucina, and Oksana, of course, and everyone who joined this and all the other sessions who were here throughout this journey. And although we still have the practical sessions ahead of us next week, and of course we are still going to be communicating on Slack and via email regarding the certificates, regarding the deadline for tests and so on, today we truly are closing a sort of a chapter. Something is ending, but when something ends, something new can begin. And I truly hope that a lot of new things will begin with you, and that it's going to go in the correct direction, so to say. And it certainly has been the utmost pleasure to be here with you all, and I sincerely hope that we will meet not only in the future sessions, in the practical sessions, but hopefully at some point in person as well. And the final thing that I want to say, to remind you, and Oksana, you mentioned Slack. And truly, we created this platform. We wanted you to use it so you can connect with one another. And that's why we do encourage you to keep using it. We're not going to close it down. It's going to remain available. And there are already some people sharing their events that are happening and inviting others to join them. Feel free to do so. That's why the Slack is there. That's why we created it, so you can meet one another, talk with one another, get to know one another, maybe create future collaborations together. So definitely use Slack, and I do hope that we will see each other around. Well, definitely at the practical sessions. So thank you once again. Thank you, everybody. And see you around, I guess.
Thank you so much once again, and thank you, Pauls, for leading this amazing program, for amazingly leading this amazing program. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening, or day, morning, or night. Depends on when you are watching this. Have a great day. Goodbye.